Kelvin, I have a question for you. Are you having a good time? Are you, Kelvin? Are you having a good time?
I'm having a great time.
Let's talk about it.
So, everybody's dead. How about we start at the beginning?
Okay, here we go. Jess, Frida, this is my childhood buddy, Cody. Vic, my left and right hand man.
Perfect.
Tom.
Hi. All right, who did this?
This is Frida, Sarah, Frida.
Cute nails. Thank you.
Hello there, Clapperheads, and welcome to a brand new edition of ClapperTalks. I'm Nick Dorian.
And I'm Kelvin Tay.
And we are your hosts as usual, and today we are going to be talking about... We're going to be talking about a film that is coming out. Well, it's already come out and it's in cinemas already. Zoë Kravitz's directorial debut, Blink Twice. Now, this is a film that I think it's, for a directorial debut at least, it's amazing.
It is amazing.
I will say there's obviously going to be a comparison to a certain other Jordan Peele film, which we'll get into in a bit. But despite that, I think this is something that is really going to grip you and it is intense as everything.
Yep.
You didn't know anything before going into this, right?
No, not even the name of the show.
I knew the trailer, and from the trailer, I was already intrigued. Now, this is a film that basically tells the story of a philanthropist, billionaire, sort of tech mogul. That's the word.
Yeah, a tech mogul.
A tech mogul.
Okay. Before we jump in, right?
Yes.
I just want to do a bit of housekeeping here.
Okay.
It's a brand new film. It came out today.
Today, on the day of recording, it's Thursday, the 22nd. It comes out today in Malaysian cinemas.
This episode will be aired next week.
My
question for you is, how much spoiler can we actually jump into?
I would say nothing. No spoilers yet. It will only be like 4 days. So give the audiences a bit of time.
Okay.
We will do our best to not spoil this for you.
Not Nick, but basically me, because I don't know how much filter I can unfilter myself, right?
I'll just put my hand up and go, stop.
Okay. Or in post, I'll just bleep,
That's true.
Okay.
That's true.
Okay.
Right. So this film basically tells the story of a tech mogul who, after some scandals, has basically become a recluse, decided to take some time off for himself and disappear, and bought his own island where he has these lavish parties. He used to have big, lavish, drug-induced parties, but apparently now he's toned down. And he invites a bunch of people to come to the island and basically have a good time. But there's a lot more than just having a good time, because things get really out of control really quickly. And that's as much as I'm going to say without spoiling it. If you've seen the trailer, you get a gist of it as well. And from that, you just deduce what you think. But I guarantee you, whatever you think is not what might happen on screen.
I'm trying my best to say. I'm trying my best. Yeah, but yes, I 100% agree with you. When you mentioned tech mogul, the easiest way I can let the audience know is like how you can perceive Channing Tatum's character is a mixture of Jake Paul and Elon Musk.
Yeah, but the thing is, Tatum's character in the beginning is a bit likable. Jake Paul and Elon Musk are not.
Fine. Okay, fine. He's just a very rich guy. Let's just put it.
Yeah, he's a very rich. He's very charming.
Yep.
Very mysterious, and I think that builds the tension even more, because this is a character that you would love but also hate. He sort of threads that fine line where you're just like, oh, I love this guy, but there's just something behind those eyes. There's just something that you can't put your finger on. Now, as I mentioned before, Zoë Kravitz, who's famous for, of course, in The Batman, she played Catwoman. She was also in High Fidelity. She is also Lenny Kravitz's daughter, if you don't know the Kravitz part of the name. This is her directorial debut, and it is a very strong start. Like I said, there is a strong influence from Jordan Peele, which, if it works, it works. And she made it work. If other directors trying to do it may not be as successful, but I feel Zoe was very successful with it.
I remember after the film, after the screening yesterday, I had a conversation with you. I was like, hey, Nick, who's the director for this? Because I'm bad with names. Okay. And you was like, Catwoman.
Yep.
And I was like, oh, the short hair one. And you're like, yeah. I was like, shit, this is a first ever film? And I was like, wow, for someone who is having their directorial debut, this was worth going to the cinema for.
Right.
Because when you reference Jordan Peele's film, we're not going to name which one, right?
Yeah.
So far, there's Nope from 2022, there's Us from 2019, and Get Out from 2017.
Yeah.
We can't, the main reason why we can't pinpoint which film specifically is because it will have a huge
impact. It will have a huge spoiler as well.
Yeah.
Because it follows along the same sort of lines.
Yep. And for someone who just made their first film, I can see a lot of good stuff happening from her, or just coming from her.
And not only that, she co-wrote the script with another script writer, Edie. Let me double check. I should have it here. Why don't you pull it up? I thought I had it. But she co-wrote this script as well. And I think...
E.T. Feigenbaum.
I'm sure you're saying that name correctly.
Okay. How would you pronounce this?
E.T. Feigenbaum. Baum?
Exactly.
There we go. That person. Basically, when I feel like this script might be a very personal script to her, because there is, of course, a lot of Hollywood lavish party, which is undoubtedly the world that she has grown up in.
Yep.
And especially with her dad, Lenny Kravitz. Don't tell me there weren't parties similar to this with Lenny Kravitz. So I feel this is very much a story that she might have... not say lived through. I mean, I hope not.
Maybe have like first-hand experience
with,
or you know, some conspiracy theory of like how the people from the upper echelon have a different definition of what a party is to the normal common folks, I would say.
Yeah, because these parties are extravagant. It has 5-star Michelin star meals. You're on an island with no phones. Oh, that's another thing. They had no phones as well. So you're completely just immersed in this island. There's a big mansion. It's fun. It's exciting. And I think that's the kind of world that she has lived in.
Yep.
But on top of that, the story very much is I would say it's a little bit of a Me Too story at the beginning as well, because you can tell there's a lot of misogynism within this film. That's not a spoiler. There's right from the start when you see the two of them being sort of mansplained by a guy.
Right, okay.
Remember that,
okay,
that
yes,
opening bit?
Yes.
And as it goes on, you start to realize, it's really a story about women, for one, and how men are just dicks. But at the same time, it's not overt.
Yep.
It's not going, all men are dicks, all women are great. There's a good reason behind this. And that's also another reason why today they put up a Instagram post on their Instagram, either Warner Brothers Instagram or Blink Twice's Instagram, with a trigger warning for rape and assault and sexual violence and all that. So if you're going to watch this film, if you're listening to this, yes, be warned. It might be a bit traumatic for some that have unfortunately gone through those kinds of experiences. So just have that in the back of your mind before going into this film. What they basically said was, trigger warning, we are proud to finally share Blink Twice with audiences in theaters worldwide this week. Blink Twice is a psychological thriller about the abuse of power. While this is a fictionalized movie, it contains mature themes and depictions of violence, including sexual violence. This may be upsetting or triggering for some viewers. For resources that offer support, visit blinktwiceresources.com, which is actually quite... I appreciate that.
I appreciate that as well. You don't see a lot of films actually does that, right? Even if there's any like sexual violence or like abuse or anything along the spectrum of that. Yeah. It's just like, it's a movie, just enjoy only lah.
Yeah.
Right?
It's the fact that they put this up, it safeguards themselves, but it also helps the audiences make a choice. If they can't handle it, don't watch the film. They're making it very blunt as possible, and I'm very appreciative of that. And the fact that they've set up a website, Blink Twice Resources, which gives you a whole bunch of helplines or whatnot if you've suffered through cases like this.
Where's Jess?
Huh? What, hon?
My friend that was in the room next to mine.
The storage room? Hey, relax. You're on vacation.
I love how it took its time. That it builds up that tension. It builds up that suspense. And you said that you felt it was a bit draggy at points, right?
There are some points where I feel like it's definitely a bit draggy, but I also understand why it needs to be draggy because you have to build up the good times.
Yes.
Right? Only for you to understand how messed up it was later on.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because as the story progresses, sure, you're going to start to wonder, okay, what is going on? But that's exactly what you should be thinking.
Yep.
You should be thinking, what is going on?
No, I would say the film doesn't shy away from letting you know that something is going on without revealing what is actually going on. Because the sound design and the sound effect, everything keeps you on the edge of your feet. Because I remember just turning to Nick and saying, dude, I'm so stressed out, man. I'm so stressed out, man.
That was another thing that I wanted to mention, the sound design.
Oh my God, dude.
Because the sound design, the fact that there was a lot of silence.
Yep.
Like literally it's just ambient sounds.
I wouldn't say it's a lot of silence because when you talk about a lot of silence, a movie called John Krasinski and his wife.
Quiet Place.
Quiet Place.
Yeah.
Quiet Place, that film is silent. All right? It's silent.
Then what? Sorry, I might have misused my words in that sense. What I mean by quiet is the fact that usually in films, even in The Quiet Place, there is some background noise or some background music
right.
and stuff like that. But even that the first 2-3 minutes,
Okay.
there's nothing.
Yep.
There's just the sound of her on her phone and just scrolling, and there's no music, no nothing. And it gives that sort of it sets the tone.
Mm-hmm.
And in those silences, while people are talking and there's nothing being heard in the background, it gives off that very eerie, tense feeling, which is why you probably felt stressed.
Straight off the bat, it already set a tone to be something that is going to be suspenseful.
Yes.
Suspenseful and also very on the edge.
Yes.
Right? Because the knock on the doors are like super loud.
Yeah.
The clock ticking are super loud. Every second in the film is being every second and every silence in the film is being supplemented by a sound design that keeps you on the edge of your feet. It's like, oh shit, something's gonna happen, something's gonna happen.
Yes.
And then it happens and you're like, oh, and it still goes and goes and goes and goes. Yeah.
And also, on top of the sound design were those incredibly close-up shots. There were a lot of close-up shots, which I have a love-hate relationship with close-up shots. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. This, it really did.
Yep.
Because again, that crafts and sets up this sort of very mysterious and tense feeling. Because the way that it's framed, especially these close-up shots, it is not unbelievably close, but uncomfortably close.
Uncomfortably close, yes.
That's the word for it. It's uncomfortably close that even you are pushing yourself back in the chair going, okay, I need to back away a little bit.
And I also want to say, right, the actress Naomi Aki.
Yes.
She is fantastic, in my opinion, for films like this.
She is a fantastic actress. In the Whitney Houston film, she gets to bring it down a little bit. There were intense moments because undoubtedly Whitney Houston dealt with a lot of drugs and stuff like that.
Okay.
But she is a very versatile actress that can do anything and everything. And this again proves it. Her intensity, her facial emotions and everything. You feel it. You truly feel it.
I also found out today that she was British.
Oh, yeah.
She has a very, very heavy British accent.
Why did you say British the first time in a British accent? I found out she's British.
Yeah, she is British.
She is British.
Yeah, she is British. and when you talk about facial expression, I also want to just bring in Channing Tatum's character, just the main character himself. Because he played this role so well that you forget that he's the same guy that did My Name is Jeff. Right? and I enjoy seeing characters like Channing Tatum where they're always it's either the what's the word? The sex scene guy, right?
Yeah.
Or the funny guy playing a serious role. And bro, he did it so well. Like all the expression, all the micro muscle that he was playing, and then the way that he got angry, the way that he was charming, the way that he was flirty, it was all done so well.
I feel Channing Tatum is a very underrated actor. That's the problem, because undoubtedly he is well known for roles like My Name is Jeff, the party boy,
and also Remy.
Ooh boy, I'm about to
Remy
name myself here, boy. But I mean, I'm thinking again, like looking at his IMDb and stuff like that. Foxcatcher. That was it. That was the name. Foxcatcher, the one about the wrestling team, Team Foxcatcher.
Okay.
He was fantastic in that, and I think that was the role that people finally took him seriously as a dramatic actor, because I think that was a dramatic turn that we rarely saw him get to do, and again in this film you get to see that again, albeit not as dramatic as Foxcatcher, but at the same time he brings this charm yet menace and mysteriousness to a role, which I feel he delivered perfectly. Because you honestly, the first half an hour, actually no, not even the first half an hour, throughout most of the film until the third act, you really love this guy. And you're like,
For sure.
he is such a nice guy. But at the same time,
No,
what is going on?
How I would say this is like throughout the entire film, you can see that he is this very charming guy, high charisma, and he talks to people really well, and you can see that people are just instantaneously drawn to him.
Yes.
But there's something about his eyes that are just so dead.
Yes.
And you can feel that, okay, this guy is confirmed 100% pretending to be nice. But what goes on behind the scene, you wait to find out. Like you wait to
watch
find,
find out.
Yeah.
But I agree with you. It's something in the eyes. I don't know what it is, but there was just something in his eyes that just held this sort of, not wonder. I don't think wonder is the word, but it was intriguing to me because I'm like, something's off. That's it. There's just that minute thing where something is off. And Channing Tatum doing that, I think is wonderful. If you think that Channing Tatum can only do comedy, party boy stuff, watch this. Also watch Foxcatcher, but watch this as well, because I think you will be very pleasantly surprised by Tatum.
Yeah, because in this film, he is a charming party boy, philanthropist, tech mogul.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he did it really, really well. His acting here, for me, was a solid 10 out of 10.
10 out of 10. I agree with you on that. Solid 10 out of 10. And the other actors and actresses as well. Like, this is a stellar cast. You've got people like Christian Slater. You've got Haley Joel Osment. You've got Gina Davis. Of course, you got Channing Tatum. You've got...
I also want to point out Adria Arjona.
Yes, the best friend, right?
Yeah, the best friend. Haley Joel Osment, Gina Davis, Alia Shawkat. No. Alia Shawkat is the best friend.
Okay.
Adria Arjona is this one.
Yes.
Right?
Oh, she was intense. She was
man.
intense. Like, and that was another one where you were like, it started off as one character that you had a feeling, okay, and then it just turned into something else. But that transition was very smooth, and you really get to fall in love with not all of the characters, but most of them. You really get to connect and understand and relate to in some aspects. That's what I appreciated as well. None of them were sort of throwaway characters.
At first, they felt like it, right?
They felt like it.
Because how they were introduced is like all these girls are just like party companion girls.
Yeah.
All right, let's just put it that way. They were introduced into the cast as like party companion girls. It's like, oh, we're going to this nice private island with a big mansion, and on the back of your head, we have wild parties and we do drugs and stuff like that, right? Why don't you come join us? Yeah. And then the main character goes, and then you slowly get introduced to the rest of the cast, and you're just like, oh, you know, the girls are just like background girls, and then slowly their character arc, you can see it being built of like how it slowly unfolds. There's a lot I cannot say because even just one slight word will just break the entire the entire magic of the film.
Yeah.
Right.
And also, like, the smallest of characters, I think you know which two girls I'm talking about, that I thought, oh, you are really throwaway characters. And then suddenly, okay. That's why I really appreciated Zoë Kravitz's writing in this, the two of them. They've written a wonderfully crafted script that comes full circle. There's a lot of clues and subliminal things in the way, like you told me red. And I was like, oh yeah, after you told me that, I thought, oh yeah, I am seeing a lot of red. And there's, again, I can't say it because it will be a spoiler, but there are certain things that you're going to think, okay, what's the reason behind this? And when it comes to the third act, you're like, oh, damn. Like, it really all comes full circle and it's incredibly smart. Another actor that I just want to point out as well is Kyle MacLachlan as well, because Twin Peaks. He was great as the therapist, even though we barely saw him. Yep. That's not a spoiler. But Kyle MacLachlan is always great in whatever he does.
Yeah. I just want to bring in, right? Because yesterday when we were watching the film and I was just telling you after the film, it's like, there's a lot of red, right? It was from a article that I picked out that I'm just going to loosely paraphrase here, right? In film, and I'm quoting, red is used a lot in lieu of this hidden emotional stimulants. The color is found to be associated with the following feelings: war, danger, strength, power, passion, desire, love, but above all demands more attention than any color. So it like I told you yesterday, like in The Godfather, every time you see the color orange or every time you see an orange, someone will die or someone will get hurt, right?
Yeah.
Same goes in this film because if you're going to watch this episode itself and deciding if you're going to watch Blink Twice, I want you to be aware of the color red. Because throughout the film, it was red on red on red on red on red, and it's so subtle. If I don't point it out, you won't know. But you will see red everywhere.
And speaking of colors, did you also notice in this film, it's incredibly vibrant.
It is.
There is a lot of colors.
Like the scene where now Frida, Naomi's character, was in the shower and the shower wall was blue.
Yeah.
And then she is dark, right? She is like dark skin, and then she was wearing like this really vibrant yellow towel on her head.
Yes.
And then the contrast is so beautiful.
And also, did you notice the white? Now, I'm not going to say what. Now, I think you know what I'm talking about, white. It represents purity and innocence. And the fact that certain people were wearing it, I thought that was great. Because that really looks like something that you are... A gender... It's so hard not to say anything without spoiling these things. But the whole gender... inequality and also looking at a certain gender in a certain way, that white really accentuated it. One more thing I want to point out before we take a little bit of a break is, did you notice the symmetry as well?
Yes, I did.
It was like Wes Anderson horror, and I loved it.
That's what I thought about too.
Because again, it gives that uncomfortableness.
Yep.
Everything. That's why I say, for a directorial debut, Zoë Kravitz has really put a lot of thought and effort into this, especially in the shots that she took with her cinematographer and DOP as well. Because you can tell there's a lot of intention within these shots, which again tends to be missing sometimes in films. It's let's make it beautiful for the sake of being beautiful. But this is, let's make it uncomfortable because that's how we want the audiences to feel.
It was you can feel everyone in the cinema was uncomfortable.
Yes.
Right?
And speaking of how the audiences should feel, we'll talk about that after the break.
Think fast.
Whoa!
Go off, HSV! Oh, I knew it. You were on Hot Survivor, babes.
8 seasons.
Yo, you went cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs on that show.
Well, they edited a lot of shit out. And I did what I had to do to survive.
So, if you are planning to watch this film, if you're planning to go into it, I think there's a few things that we should warn you about how you're going to feel. this isn't going to be a feel-good film. Far from it. And from our experiences, you are going to be stressed.
You will definitely be stressed. Don't get me wrong, right? There are some parts where it's so freaking funny. Like the lines written was so funny.
Yeah.
You will get a good laugh here and there, right? The entire film was shot so beautifully. The colors, like you said before the break, was vibrant, right? The script writing was great. But throughout the whole movie, you will feel like you have clammy hands, clammy feet, and your heart will be like, right?
It is going to be a tense ride for sure. The film runs at about, could you just...
An hour 42.
An hour 42.
Yep, an hour 42.
And it paces very well, so you're not going to feel it. You're not going to feel that it's too long. Because that intensity and that tenseness, maybe for some people you might feel tired after a while because it is just so much. But I think Zoe has managed to inject enough humor and fun into it to combat the tenseness that is going to leave you very balanced. It'll be a balanced ride, but at the same time, like you said, you literally turned to me like, bro, I need to step out. I need to take a breather after this because it is that intense. But it warrants it.
Yep.
It definitely warrants the intensity.
Yeah, I would compare the intensity to some of Jordan Peele's film and even Sam Mendes' 1917.
Yes.
Right? Where the clock is constantly ticking. It's like tick-tock, 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 tick-tock. And throughout the entire film, you will have a great time. You will definitely have a great time.
Yeah.
But just be warned that if you need something comforting like a pillow, or like a doll or something, bring it with you.
Bring it with you.
Bring it with you. Hold on. Yeah. All right. I'll just confirm with him. There is no jump scares, right? If you are
I mean, for those that are mildly scared, like
it's
they
not
really
like
cannot take it.
It's not like Conjuring level jump scare.
No.
Yeah, it's not like Conjuring level jump scare where it's just like boom in your face kind of thing.
But there will be some, like we said before in the first half, there will be some loud sounds here and there that might be jump scare for some, but if you watch horror and stuff, you'll be fine with this. Actually, that's what I want to classify it as. I feel this is a psychological horror film.
Yes, because it is categorized under mystery and thriller, right?
Like also, when you watch the trailer, it has very much a Knives Out element to it, like a murder mystery element to it. But at the same time, if Jordan Peele did murder mystery, this would sort of be it.
Yep.
Without giving, again, too much away. Now, as you watch the film, you'll also be very much engaged in it because the actors pull off a fantastic script and is so attractive to watch, both physically and emotionally as well.
I also want to add that nothing much was censored as well. There are a couple of things where, if I'm not mistaken, was swear words that was bleeped out, or like a little icon that was bleeped out as well.
Yeah, I think that's not too much of a spoiler because it's in the trailer itself. But when Haley Joel Osment, there's a sort of penis drawn on his head. That was, of course, censored. But it doesn't distract or detract anything from the film. You'll still understand it. There aren't visible cuts. It's just a few swear words and whatnot. It's not going to affect the story at all. I think audiences are going to have a great time with this one. It is a film that I think they will remember for a long time and might want to rewatch again just to pick up things that they might not have picked up the first time round. Like, knowing what I know now, I want to watch it again just to see if my viewing experience is different, knowing what the ending is.
Yes.
Will I pick up on other things that I didn't pick up the first time? I think that's very interesting, and I love it when films do these because it gets you to watch it again and again, and it stays in your mind and becomes a classic of sorts.
Yes.
I mean, we say this time and time again, I would still rank this up to Jordan Peele's line of horror in that sense. I mean, not so much...
It's a very indie horror, I would say.
Indie horror with a big budget.
Okay, yes.
It is a massive budget. I mean, look at that mansion and the island.
Yeah, man.
There's no CGI in this. Everything's practical. Those food shots. I got to mention, it might leave you a little bit hungry as well because the food shots were very much chef table food shots, and they look gorgeous, except very expensive.
Yeah, it says here, Blink Twice reportedly carries a $20 million budget.
And I'm sure they will make this back. They will make it back and with
sure.
profit for
For
sure.
sure, for
This is a film that is going to make bank. Now, this is another thing which you may or may not want to do. I leave this at your discretion. But this is what Zoë Kravitz has said. She posted on her Instagram a picture of the... Oh, I don't have the internet on this.
Entertainment?
Entertainment Weekly. She posted on her Instagram the picture of a lighter. The lighter that was used in the movie. Now, in the movie, of course, there are drugs. There's marijuana. There's a joint. Let's see, read the... Oh, no, that's not this. But yes. Oh, yeah. That was another thing. The original title was called Pussy Island.
Really?
Yes. Take that as you wish. This one. Yes. The second one.
Right, okay.
So she posted that picture on her Instagram and basically said, scroll down. Ooh, we got ourselves a sticky situation. Smoke a J and watch Blink Twice. Of course, joints are very much in line with the film because they do smoke it in the film. And the fact that Zoë Kravitz has said that would make the film a very different experience. And to be honest, I don't know if I would like to smoke a joint before watching this film. I feel I would be very paranoid watching this film.
Yeah. No, as someone who gets easily paranoid and has like a bit of anxiety, I would say it's a really, really bad idea. Just go in with your popcorn and drinks. You'll be fine.
Yeah, you'll be fine. You don't need to smoke a joint for this. But if you want to, Zoë Kravitz approves of it.
Hey, we're not your dad. Do as you wish, man.
Now, I think that sort of sums everything up. Now, if we were to say why you should watch it, because you definitely should, this is a film that will play in your mind for days and weeks to come and will keep you questioning and will keep you analyzing the film. Oh, what's this? What does this mean? And what does this mean? It's a film that will leave you talking way after the credits have rolled.
Yep.
And I feel that's incredibly why you should watch it. Why do you think people should watch it?
I feel like, I'm a sucker for a good thriller, and I'm constantly in search for, greater thrillers like Jordan Peele and the Knives Out trilogy. No, it's not even a trilogy.
It is a trilogy now.
Right?
The third one is going to come out soon.
Yeah, the third one's coming out soon, right? And even Express.
Murder on the Orient Express.
Murder on the Orient
Death
Express.
on the
Right?
Nile.
Yeah, right. I love this kind of film, and I would say for her directorial debut, it's definitely going to be one of the greats out there. It's going to be a cult classic, and I can't wait for what she has in store for us next, because this kind of film are those, like you said, people will talk about it again and again.
Yeah.
And if you're just watching it at home, even with a couple of friends or even with your family, it's going to be like, what just happened? You know?
Whenever people ask me what's a good horror film, the films that I always pull up is, of course, Get Out, Hereditary, Shining, of course.
Whenever people talk about Hereditary, I was like, it's always that one scene that gets me.
Oh, I think I know which
It's
scene it is.
always that.
Yep.
Yeah.
I know which film,
Yeah.
which scene you're talking about. But Blink Twice is now fully up there for me on films I would recommend if you're interested in psychological horror, though not like Conjuring sort of horror.
Yeah.
But this is really up there. I would recommend this film time and time and time again. This next to Get Out and Hereditary as well.
Yeah.
So go and watch it. It's in cinemas now. Now on our clapper-meter, our infamous clapper-meter on the screen right here, I would give it a solid 9.
A solid 9.
I want to say 10, but I feel like that's just a cop-out at this point. So I'll give it a 9.
You know what I would say?
What?
I would give it a perfect score of 10.
10. Okay.
Mainly because this is her first one.
Yeah.
And I definitely want people to support her work in the future, and I want people to watch this. So I'll give it a 10 because it's a very well done thriller. It's a very well done mystery. The casts are well casted.
Yeah.
The writing was it's a bit obvious at times of what will happen, but I would say at the end of the show, coming out of it, you'll be like, what the
Yeah.
yeah.
So yes.
So 9, 10.
9, 10, so you give it an average of 9.7.
Yeah.
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 So go and watch Blink Twice. It's out in Malaysian cinemas now. It's out in the US as well. So if you're watching this in the US, hello, go and watch it. You won't be disappointed. And I suddenly forgot how to close this. Oh yes, and always you can follow Clappercorn at Clappercorn in TikTok, Instagram, and of course YouTube. Go and subscribe and follow those channels for more updates. You can follow Renegade Radio at
RRP Malaysia.
There we go. Thank you so much again for watching. I am Nick Dorian.
And I'm Kelvin Tay.
Keep watching the movies.
Goodbye.